TV advertisements through the decades. A quick timeline of television. In 1927, television was invented by Philo Farnsworth. In 1941, the first TV commercial aired by Bulova, which was a watch company. As of 1949, TV commercials are monitored by the FCC, also known as the Federal Communications Commission. In 2020, streaming platforms such as Netflix, Amazon, and Peacock take over and disrupt ads. In 2023, new levels of AI are used for developing advertisements, and they're still used today. Since TV advertisements didn't come out until the 1940s, I decided to look at radio advertisements of the 1930s just to see where we were about before we had TV advertisements. The ads were centered around women doing the cooking, the cleaning, and caring for children. The ads also pressured women to be the perfect wife. This would include products that would guarantee women to win men over, to keep them, and to lead them into a happy marriage. The third style of ads were focused on health and hygiene, specifically skin and beauty care to maintain their beauty for the benefit of their husbands. Even though the tampon was invented in the 1930s, beauty care wasn't prioritized until the 1970s. The 1930s Campbell Soup radio ad jingle. The jingle itself is not what I'm concerned about, but the image that comes along with the jingle. This image depicts two young female children in the kitchen. In 1940 advertisements, not only was it a woman's job to be a housewife, but also her purpose was to please her husband and maintain her beauty. This ultimately skewed the perception of romance and created even more harm to women than ever before. They claim women can only be loved for their appearance and how well she can please her man. This would lead to the unrealistic beauty standards displayed in future decades.
Look at your hair. Look at that blouse. And the way that skirt hangs. And those socks. You don't seem to be exactly the type to make this guy behave like a human being. Let's start all over again. Oh, brother is right. Look at that hair, that skin, that mouth. And now look at that blouse. And now look at the skirt. And the socks. Thanks a lot for helping us prove a point.
In this advertisement, we see a woman being berated by a man for her physical appearance. Her clothes are a little messy, however, apparently she's perfect after she styles it a little different. And of course she only styles it differently because a man is right next to her. In the 1950s, it was expected for men to provide financially for the family, and women would be in charge of purchasing groceries and home goods for the household. For this reason, companies started creating products revolved around cooking and cleaning. These ads would sell tools to allow the wives to be picture perfect. In these advertisements, you can see that women themselves are wearing very nice clothing, have expensive jewelry, and represent a middle-class wife.
And what about glamour puss, I wonder? Perhaps she just thinks it looks pretty. Probably eats out every day anyway.
Those time set controls would be lovely. Set them in the morning before I go, and while I'm working, it's cooking itself. Just what I want when I've got some friends coming round.
In the Home Dressmaking Centre, Gillian saw a group of students hard at work. The courses are held during the day and evenings at most Singer centres and consist of 9 two-hour classes. The instructress of the class met Gillian and explained just how comprehensive the course is. At the beginning, all of the students are measured accurately by an expert and advised on pattern selection and alteration if their individual size demands it. From then on, in a step-by-step process, they are taught layout, cutting and stitching, with special emphasis on the more difficult details, like setting sleeves and making buttonholes. Not only taught how, but asked to do several samples under the guidance of the instructress. In the classes, which consist of 6 students, the women run to all ages and walks of life, from brides-to-be like Gillian to grandmothers back for a refresher course.
The 1950 Adverts Targeting Women video is a perfect example of how adverts are trying to persuade women to keep their traditional household duties. The 1960s advertising. A majority of the 1960s was really an extension of the 50s, says Joshua Rowley, a reference archivist at Duke University's John W. Hartman Center for Sales, Advertising, and Marketing History. However, in the late 1960s, the second wave of feminism began and focused on sexual identity, reproductive rights, marriage, divorce, and women in the workplace.
Harvey, want anything special for your birthday?
Just a decent cup of coffee.
You're kidding.
I'm serious. Honey, your coffee's undrinkable.
It's pretty harsh.
Well, so's your coffee. You know, the girls down at the office make better coffee on their hot plates. Well, see you later.
And he didn't even kiss me goodbye. You know, if I could just make a decent cup of coffee, I could relax. So, relax. Why don't you try Instant Folgers? Tastes good as fresh perked. Good as fresh perked? I'll surprise Harvey for his birthday tonight.
Hey, great coffee.
It's Instant Folgers. Doesn't it taste good as fresh perked?
Better.
Better than those girls make at the office?
Honey, their coffee can't hold a candle to yours.
Instant Folgers taste good as fresh perk.
The sexist coffee ad is honestly so upsetting. The fact that the husband at first is outraged because she can't make a perfect cup of coffee, and then throws it in her face that the ladies at work make it better. And then when she finally brings him the better cup of coffee, then she seems more sexually pleasing to him. It's honestly disgusting. In the 1970s, the second wave of feminism was very strong during this decade. Women focused on retaliation to the traditional roles of being a housewife and mother after men returned home from World War II. Yes, all men returned home by 1947, so it took over 20 years to challenge these stereotypical roles. Advertisements started to portray women differently than many others have ever seen before, especially Shelley Hack in the 1970s Charlie by Revlon perfume commercial.
There's a fragrance that's here today and they call it Charlie. A different fragrance that thinks your way, yeah, they call it Charlie. Kinda young, kinda now, Charlie. Kinda free, kinda wow, Charlie. Kind of fragrance that's gonna stay and it's here now, Charlie.
Charlie by Revlon, a most original fragrance.
In Shelley Hack's 1970s Charlie by Revlon perfume commercial is very confident, stylish, and independent. She arrives to the hotel in her own Rolls Royce, driving it by herself. She's also wearing shimmery pantsuit, which pants were once illegal for women to wear before 1923. It was simply a rare sight to see. In the 1980s, companies started using the superwoman complex in their advertisements. Women were now expected to do it all, since that's what we asked for our movements. This includes working full-time job, raising children, cleaning the home, and maintaining your physique. Shelley Hack is back again, but not for the better.
I can put the wash on the line, feed the kids, get dressed, pass out the kisses, and get to work by 5 and 9. 'Cause I'm a woman, Anjali.
Give her Anjali, the 8-hour perfume for the 24-hour woman.
I can bring home the bacon, Anjali. Fry it up in a pan, Anjali. And never, never, never let you forget you're a man. 'Cause I'm a woman.
Anjali, the 8-hour perfume for your 24-hour.
The difference between Shelley Hack and each of her perfume commercials is quite insane. In the Retro and Jolie commercial, the message of the advertisement is that with this 8-hour lasting perfume, you'll be able to work full-time to bring home the money, hence I can bring home the bacon, be home to fulfill your domestic role, by which she means fry it up in a pan, and have time to please your husband. Never let you forget you're a man. These statements are honestly unrealistic standards. I understand that some people are single parents, but this advertisement is indicating that with this perfume, all these ordeals will be completed effortlessly. In the 1990s, the third wave of feminism began, and it recognized intersectionality. This included women of cultural backgrounds, racial backgrounds, nationalities, and religions. However, television advertisements started to really sexualize women and claimed that women needed saving. Not that it wasn't apparent before, but it was much more normalized now.
My love, baby, oh so bad. You're not the only one I've ever had. And if I say I wanna set you free, don't you know you'll be in misery? They call me Dr. Love. They call me Dr. Love. I've got the cure you're thinking of.
In the Nissan Toys Barbie Ken commercial, a Barbie is being smacked in the face by a Ken doll with a beach ball and is saved miraculously by G.I. Joe driving a Nissan. Firstly, being knocked out cold by a beach ball is honestly humiliating and obviously ridiculous. And secondly, you are yet seeing a man save a woman, but of course in doll form. In the 2000s, we were finally starting to acknowledge that women are different from one another. Stereotyping, insulting, and offending women were not as common as it was in previous decades. We really start to see diversity in cultures and racial backgrounds. Women were now seen as complex human beings that are not housewives, but are included in a wide range of roles.
I'm your Venus, I'm your fire, your desire.
Introducing Venus from Gillette, the first razor designed to make you feel like a goddess. Protective cushions surround 3 blades for the closest shave ever in just 1 stroke. So close your skin stays smoother longer. And that's something all goddesses are entitled to. Now individually sealed blades are easy to store, easy to change. Venus, reveal the goddess.
In this 2000s Gillette Venus commercial, we see that women are being compared to goddesses, and that we are entitled to smooth skin for ourselves, and not to do it for men. We see some racial diversity in the cast, however, we really lack body diversity. In my opinion, this is probably the best advertisement I can show for this analysis. In the 2010s, advertising became more about campaigning, and the tone became more serious. Use of viral videos and hashtags were used to spread the company's message. A big breakthrough came for advertisements during Super Bowl 49 in 2015.
Hi, Aaron. Show me what it looks like to run like a girl.
My hair.
Show me what it looks like to fight like a girl. Now throw like a girl.
Aw.
So do you think you just insulted your sister?
No. I mean, yeah, insulted girls, but not my sister.
My name is Dakota, and I'm 10 years old.
Show me what it looks like to run like a girl. Throw like a girl. Fight like a girl. What does it mean to you when I say run like a girl?
It means run fast as you can.
In Always' Like a Girl campaign, the commercial addresses why like a girl has become an insult rather than a correct statement. I thought the comparison between the group of people versus the little girls was a beautiful thing, showing that being a girl is empowering and we should embrace that. However, I was also left sad hearing that a girl's confidence plummets during puberty. As of now, body standards have become more realistic, but can be more diverse. Women are not as objectified. A lot more advertisements are catered towards women and that they appreciate women. Specifically, NFL's Run With It Super Bowl ad campaign 2023. I believe it's a beautiful tribute to women's athletes, which I know it was taken by a storm, but it's also super important since women's athletes are criticized so much more than male athletes.
The MVP of the Flag Football World Games.
Kevin, thanks so much. I am here with world champion Deanna Flores. And Deanna, you are so elusive. Is there anybody that can pull your flags?
Well, I'm sure someone can.
They're right here.
What?
Pull your flag! What are you doing?
Man, I'm trying to lock down the perimeter and you worried about sauce.
It's all about the sauce.
All units code red. We gotta run it. Come on now. She got moves. Oops.
I missed it.
Oh, hell no. What's the play? I got this.
Housekeeping.
You gotta go higher.
Housekeeping. That kind of hurt.
Mafia style. Nice.
Mamá, algo muy raro acaba de pasar.
Ay, princesa, te ves estresada. Respira tranquila. Ven, dame un abrazo.
Mamá. Ana Alejandra Flores, ven acá o estás castigada.
The facts. The percent of white actors in TV advertisements has definitely increased. In 2021, it was 66%, and in 2022, it was 73%. The percent of people of color in television ads decreased. In 2021, there were 35%, and in 2022, it was 26%. The percent of men in general, so appearing in ads, they appear about 65%. In voices in ads, they appear about 73%. Instead of steady increase of feminist television advertisements, we see a fluctuating percentage of these statistics year by year. What can we do about this? The first thing we can do is be more consistent with racial diversity. It makes more of an impact to be consistent. According to Yaakov Bark, an associate professor of marketing, it is seen as more authentic when racial identity is consistent in TV commercials. This is because TV is still influential and crucial when persuading consumers. Another topic to address is body standards in general. Although not as awful in magazines and social media advertisements, many women's features are modified and changed. This creates unrealistic body ideals and favors being thin and having certain physical traits.